All right, good Tuesday to you. It's time once again for RFD Illinois. I'm DeLoss Yankee.
I'm Rita Frazier. You know, have you heard of a comedian called Nate? Let's see, what is his name? I saw him, I've never heard of him before, but I watched it on Netflix. Give me 1 second.
Nate. I'm guessing right now I haven't heard of him.
Nobody that, I'm going to mispronounce, Bargatze.
No.
He's the Tennessee Kid.
Okay.
Anyway, he just tells regular stories, and he was telling us a story in his Netflix special, me personally.
Oh, nice, yeah.
About his cousin named Tuesday.
No.
So anyway, it's interesting. So, you know, it was all confusing because his name was Tuesday, he got married on a Friday. It was just a big mess.
Now, that's similar to a comedian I heard of who had a friend named JB who wasn't very smart. And when he went to the Motor Vehicle Bureau, he said his name, they asked him what his name was. Instead of saying JB, he said J only, B only. And so when he got his driver's license, it said J only, Bonely. So that was a different comedian. But Tuesday, really? I knew some people back in the day, their last name was Wood, and they named their kids Timber and Drift.
I remember you telling me this, and of course I'm like, oh, come on.
It's a real deal.
Real deal. That's what they do in Kansas, huh?
Well,
interesting.
They were from the same town that supposedly Cousin Eddie was in Vacation Movies. And we've got plenty coming up. Stay tuned. This is RFD, Illinois.
With this week's edition of Farm Week, the early word, here's Rita Frazier.
As a critical care nurse, Cook County Farm Bureau President Janet McCabe remains focused on patient care while trying to help make health care more affordable for farmers. Learn more in the latest Farm Week about her efforts as a member of the Illinois Farm Bureau's Health Care Working Group. Flooding conditions in Illinois could worsen in this week's edition of Farm Week. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Climate Prediction Center estimates the state faces an elevated risk of flooding through the month of May.
No other Farm Weekly in Illinois has as many people on the ground in Illinois covering Illinois agriculture for you with the depth on key issues to help keep you profitable. And don't forget, you can get daily or even more frequent updates online anytime at farmweeknow.com.
Welcome back to RFD Illinois. I'm DeLoss Yankee. Well, what's going on in Springfield now that we've entered the month of April? Visited yesterday with Mark Gebhardt, Illinois Farm Bureau's Executive Director of Governmental Affairs and Commodities.
We're starting to see some potential amendments start to take shape on bills that we're monitoring and very involved in. There's really about a half a dozen bills that could have tremendous impact on our membership that we're watching very closely. And a couple of those, we're still waiting to see just exactly which direction the sponsors decide to go with those. One of those would be with respect to the Livestock Management Facilities Act. Senator Kaler has Senate Bill 1481. That's a bill that amends the Livestock Management Facilities Act to basically give counties the local control and jurisdiction over siting. We know there have been some conversations with various entities about potential amendments to that bill. I think that bill is going to look very, very different than it does today. So that one's still kind of in the wait-and-see mode. And then we're also watching another one and trying to work with the sponsors there. It's House Bill 2839. Representative Gon Gershowitz has this bill. And this is a bill that you recall we talked a lot about the loss from last year when Senator Raoul had a similar bill, which basically this bill gives standing to anyone to issue suit against a state agency for a jurisdictional or administrative decision that they might have made.
Mark Gebhardt at Illinois Farm Bureau says they'll be watching several other bills and also watch how the conversation goes toward the state's income tax structure. On the federal level, plenty of trade talks still with China, still with USMCA. Another issue is submitting comments regarding the Clean Water Rule. About 1,700 Illinois Farm Bureau members have done so already. Have a couple of weeks to get that done.
We're very appreciative of that, but we really like to get upwards of around 2,500. So if 700 or 800 more folks out there that are listening could just take 5 or 6, 10 minutes and put some comments forward, we'd really appreciate it. These comments do mean something. They do matter. The U.S. EPA will take them into account as we look at getting this clean water rule proposal finalized in the months ahead, and it's really important that be done the right way so that farmers are not negatively impacted by something with unintended consequences when you look at some of the definitions and how these waters, affect us on the farm. So I would just remind the folks to take the time to do that.
Mark Gebhard's the Illinois Farm Bureau. We talked about a month and a half ago with Lauren Lurkins, IFB's Director of Natural and Environmental Resources, about this and just how easy it is to submit comment.
It is huge that our farmers weigh in here, and, even if it's just a numbers game, it's incredibly important, and we in agriculture have to do a better job in those dockets. And so what Illinois Farm Bureau is doing, we're engaging our Clean Water and Clear Rules campaign. Folks can participate in the 60-day public comment period by texting WATERS to 52886, and that will send you very quickly to, hi, my name is Lauren Lurkins. I'm a farmer in Illinois. I support the agencies in this because I don't want to hire a team of lawyers and consultants to help me figure out who I need to call to manage my own land. And then, of course, we'll be filing our official Illinois Farm Bureau comment in the record closer to the end of the comment period.
Lauren Lurkins at Illinois Farm Bureau. You can find a video that was actually posted yesterday on Illinois Farm Bureau's Facebook page with Lauren explaining more details about this. Need more farmer commenting and more participation. The deadline is coming up April 15. Illinois Ag Statistics in their report yesterday said average statewide temperature at 44.1 degrees was 2 degrees less than average. Statewide precipitation average, an inch 78, 86/100ths of an inch more than average. 5 of the 9 reporting districts said at least 2 inches. 7 of the 9 said more than an inch 90 last week. Winter wheat condition is rated 51% good to excellent. A year ago at this time, it was 46. Topsoil moisture is rated 57% surplus, 43% adequate. Subsoil 52% surplus, and 48% adequate. And it looks like soil temperatures went down over the past week. The warmest reading, 46.8. There's another one, 45.3 in southern Illinois. Most of them in central and northern Illinois don't even come close to 40 degrees. Rita's up next on RFD, Illinois.
Clean water matters to all of us. For years, farmers have been calling for clean water and clear rules because we know it's possible to have both. Now is the time to make your voice heard. The proposed clean water rule announced by the Environmental Protection Agency and the Army Corps would end years of uncertainty over where federal jurisdiction begins and ends. Support the new rule. Text WATERS to 52886. That's WATERS to 52886 and contact your local county farm bureau for more information.
Attention corn farmers. Your corn checkoff dollars are working with the U.S. Meat Export Federation to grow red meat export volumes. Because when we're exporting beef, we're also exporting corn. The beef industry consumes 28% of all corn fed to livestock, plus additional corn in the form of DDGs, a co-product of ethanol production. Now that's what we call working an angle. Your checkoff is working corn from all angles. Because of the Illinois Corn Marketing Board, your profitability is our bottom line. A message from the Illinois Corn Checkoff.
Welcome back to RFD, Illinois. We're going to check in Nashville with a field agronomist for Pioneer, Scott Eversgerd. And, Scott, here we are, the first week of April 2019. Let's get an update very first on rain over the weekend and how that Mississippi is looking.
Well, it looks like we've had anywhere from a half inch to 2 inches in most areas south of I-70. Just kind of depending on where you're located at. The bigger threat, of course, just as you said, is the Mississippi River. We're hear a lot about the flooding that's happening in the west, the snowpack in the north and the west, and we're hearing people draw similarities to what happened in 1993. So we definitely don't need that to happen. That was a very, very bad deal. So hopefully we can stay away from that. The river can tame itself a little bit, and we can head into a good planting season here very shortly.
Yeah, we did hear stories of sandbagging, et cetera, et cetera. So you're probably hearing and seeing a lot of that going on.
Oh, yeah, especially over near St. Louis. You know, the levees over there, you know, as of 93, when a lot of them were breached, they were repaired, but they weren't repaired much better than what they were the first time. So there's always that potential for, you know, that river gets over 40 feet and bad things can happen.
So where you are in Nashville and the customer base that you serve, what are the soil conditions like for the rest of the geography? And kind of paint us the picture of where you cover.
So I cover an area basically south of 70 and west of I-57. So if we look at the area, say, outside of the river bottoms, once we get up into the bluff and come into the interior of southern Illinois, conditions are really, the ground's very wet. Here about a week ago before the rain, we did get a little bit of work done. Some dry fertilizer was spread. A little bit of herbicide was applied. But really, a few guys tried some anhydrous ammonia, but it just wasn't quite there yet. Then it rained, of course, and we've kind of been wet ever since. The forecast looking better, seeing some 70s in the forecast. If we can get those kind of temperatures in 4 or 5 days, good sunshine, you miss a rain shower, and we'll be ready to go to the field. And
we've heard other agronomists around the state also underline this. Because of the conditions last fall, we know we sort of rutted some fields, got into some trouble. We hope that doesn't happen too soon, you know, to get out there.
Yeah, we've always got to be cautious when we get a spring that's maybe not as dry as we want it. And we tend, especially as the calendar keeps creeping through April, we'll tend to maybe jump out there a few days before we should. And what we found, and we all know, is we can create some season-long issues with compaction, with drainage, just with a lot of things, especially coming off a wet fall where some of those issues may already exist. And if we go out there and do it again in the spring, we can create some pretty poor growing conditions for the summer.
Scott Eversgerd joins us. He is a field agronomist with Pioneer. He's based in Nashville. He farms in Clinton County with his brothers as well. And Scott, as we talk about all of these things, this applies to you and your family as well. So do you guys have wheat, and what does it look like?
The wheat crop overall is actually looking, we got about 3 different stages of the wheat crop. We had some wheat that was planted that last few days, September, first week of October. Looks really good. Exceptionally high yield potential. A lot of that now has the nitrogen on it, or at least a good shot of nitrogen on it. Looking really good. We have a second planting kind of after that, came about the second week of October. That wheat is really snapped out of it. Stand counts are good, tiller counts are good, it's growing. That wheat looking good, probably not as good as that first part, but looking better every day. And then the last part of the wheat crop that got planted toward the end of October, about the 15th to the 22nd. And it rained shortly after that, and then the cold temperatures came. A lot of that wheat we really didn't even see till December, and some of that even into January. So a lot of those fields are suspect with thin stands, end up destroying some of those fields.
We heard official estimates and we've heard guesstimates on, you know, how many more acres of wheat went in southern Illinois. What's your guess on that number?
I think we were about flat on acres, maybe slightly up, but, if guys really didn't push it pretty hard there in the 1st of October, the weather turned south pretty quick on us. And so if a guy really wasn't on top of it and wanting to plant a lot of wheat and getting that early start, weather just wasn't conducive to allow that extra 5, 10, 15% of acres that can typically come at the latter part of the planting season.
So, Scott, we have 2 minutes remaining here for us today. What's your best advice and your take-home as we start this month of April?
From a seed standpoint, everything's looking good. Obviously, a lot of corn seed being delivered now. I think growers are excited. Soybeans, of course, we got the different technologies out there, but overall, I would tell growers, really watch their bag tags on germination on soybean. It's been an issue for the entire industry, so really watch your tags and watch your germs, and if there are any lower germs out there, you may have to adjust your seeding rates accordingly. But overall, I think supply, we're in decent shape. We just don't want to get into a bad replant scenario either. With
you and your brothers, how many planting seasons does this make for you, and do you still get pumped up this time of year?
Oh, yeah. So the three of us, we'll be heading into our 16th year, and all that optimism comes back over the winter, and you get the tractors ready, and you're ready to go to the field with optimistically thinking you're going to grow the best crop ever. I guess that's the neat thing about being a farmer.
When you say that, what did you guys come away with yields in that area last year?
Yields were very good. We didn't have the best crop we ever had, but it was a good crop. Some of the best bean yields we've ever had. The corn crop, we had a couple little stress periods there in July. Probably took a little bit of yield out of the corn, but overall, it was a good crop.
Yeah, we heard some numbers. Obviously, we got the USDA numbers out last week, and we're still battling with these prices because of the yields you had, because of where the prices are you guys excited about getting more of your crop marketed earlier? Or who handles that side of the farm?
Yeah, unfortunately, I get to handle that part, and it's been a challenge. Obviously, it looks like traditionally we've been pretty conservative, and obviously with the market conditions we're in, you're going to have to be a little bit more bold and jump out there to get some forward pricing done to capture some decent prices. The old days of selling cash on the spot out of the field are going to make this game pretty tough.
Anything I didn't ask you, Scott, that you want to leave us with?
No, I think the biggest thing is everyone be safe. We know if we break a little late, everybody gets in a hurry, and just take that extra 10 seconds to make sure everything's right, because 10 seconds can change your life forever.
For sure. Thank you so much. Great information. We look forward to talking to you later in the growing season. Pioneer Field agronomist based in Nashville, Scott Eversgerd, will break for more markets and weather.
With the RFD Ag Market Summary for this Tuesday morning, I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and wheat all ending Monday higher. May corn closing at 361 3/4, up 5 1/4. July corn up 4 3/4, 371, and September corn 379 1/4, up 4 1/4. May beans closing at 895 1/2, up 11 1/4. July beans up 11, 908 3/4, and August beans 914 3/4, up 10 3/4. May wheat closing at 462 3/4, up a nickel. July wheat up 4 1/2, 468, and September wheat up 4 3/4, 475 3/4. May bean meal 309.40, that's up 290. May bean oil 28.57, up 21 cents. And current electronic overnight trading, May corn unchanged. July corn up 1/2, September corn up 1/2, 379 3/4. May beans in the overnight up 2 1/2. July beans up 2 1/2, and August beans up 2 1/4, 917. May wheat in the overnight down 2 3/4. July wheat down 2 3/4, and September wheat 473 1/4, down 2 1/2. In the outside markets, June Brent crude oil up 143 a barrel, 69.01, and the June gold contract down 280 this morning, 1291.40. In the livestock market from Monday, April lean hogs 77.40, up 2 pennies. May lean hogs down 32 cents, $81 even. April live cattle 126.17, that's up 47 cents. June live cattle also up 47 cents, 119.47. April feeders 145.45, up 20 cents. May feeder cattle up a dime, 148.87. Illinois direct barrels and gilts trading firm on Monday at 46 to 55. That's the RFD Ag Market Summary for this Tuesday morning. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio Network.
Good morning. This is Dan Hicks from Freeze Notice Weather with the early morning weather update on the RFD Radio Network for this Tuesday morning. Most of the Midwest had a dry day on Monday. Afternoon highs were in the upper 40s and 50s here in Illinois. Early today, temperatures are in the upper 20s and 30s across a large part of the Midwest. A weak system moving through the western Midwest has been producing some areas of light rain and snow overnight. Most of this precipitation will dissipate before reaching Illinois, although a few light showers are possible in the northern part of the state today. Daytime highs today will be in the 50s and low 60s. A stronger storm system will bring a more general area of rain to the Midwest Wednesday through Thursday. Right now it looks like greatest chances for rain here in Illinois will start on Wednesday afternoon and continue into the day Thursday. Heavy rain is not expected with this system, but some 1/4 to 3/4 inch general amounts are forecast over much of the Midwest by Thursday afternoon. Daytime highs tomorrow and Thursday will be in the upper 40s and 50s across the northern half of the region, 50s and 60s farther south. Some dry time and warmer temperatures will return to the Midwest Friday into Saturday. Readings during this time will climb above normal, with highs by Saturday likely reaching the 60s and 70s across a large part of the region. Once again, though, no long dry spells are seen across Illinois coming up in the near future. Another chance for some rain and thunderstorms will spread across the region later this weekend into Monday as the system pushes slowly eastward across the Midwest. Most areas will have some dry time after that Sunday-Monday system, but again, more rainfall chances will likely return to the region later next week. 6 to 10-day rainfall amounts will likely average near to above normal across a large part of the Midwest and here in Illinois. 6 to 10-day temperatures should average near to above normal in most areas. Once again, this is Dan Hicks from Freeze Notice Weather.
Does the warmer weather have you itching for a weekend getaway? Take your Illinois Farm Bureau membership savings with you.
Farm Bureau members can save up to 20% at choice hotels, including favorites like Comfort Suites, Sleep Inn, Quality Inn and Suites, with even more to choose from.
Call 800-258-2847 or visit the Choice Hotels website to search all the hotels at once and to make advance reservations.
Contact your local County Farm Bureau for your discount code number.
It's where your home is built, your landscape is planted, and your children play. Land is all around us, so Illinois farmers have dedicated years to learning how to best care for it. Today, we're bridging modern knowledge with resources from Mother Nature to promote natural soil activity and choosing crops that enhance soil health. To learn more about conservation efforts, visit ilfarmersconserve.com. Preserving our water, protecting our land, providing our food.
This message brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau.
Farm Week and FarmWeekNow.com journalist Kay Shipman connects rural routes for you. For 3 decades, Kay has delivered important news. She covers everything from legislative issues to the latest in soil and water conservation. Here's a bit about her rural roots.
I love covering so many aspects of agriculture and providing readers with the facts they need to make better decisions. I also get to work with farmers and meet new people along the way.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
Farm, family, food. Those 3 words best describe Illinois Farm Bureau. Farm. For 100 years, Farm Bureau in Illinois has represented and served the men and women who make Illinois one of the top food-producing states. Family. At the heart of rural Illinois are traditional farm families who work together through Illinois Farm Bureau. And food. Farm Bureau families are proud to grow the healthy food they provide their families and yours. Farm, family, food. The heart of Farm Bureau in Illinois.
That'll do it for RFD Illinois on a Tuesday.
By the way, that comedian's last name, Bargetzi.
Bargetzi. All right.
And yes, thanks for joining us, and let's salute an Illinois community.
Well, last week, I was over at a meeting in Indianapolis. I met a guy named Ryan Hansen.
Ryan Hansen from Jerseyville?
He's from Jerseyville.
Well.
In fact, he's the founder of Fire Creek Snacks, which is just a booming business. So we say hello.
Hello, and we'll take free samples.
We would. In fact, I did take free samples and not
yeah,
enough
but we
to bring
didn't
home.
see.
No, they didn't. They didn't make it back here. Sponsored by Country, your farm is your family's legacy and part of your hometown heritage. While you work sun up to sundown to get the job done, we're here protecting the things you love every step of the way. Country Financial at countrycrop.com. I'm DeLance Yankee.
I'm Rita Frazier. Have a great day.